had the steer head shipped to you, it probably looks something like this right now. The horns are off of it, just for shipping purposes. And I'm going to show you how to put it back together. Two tools you will need for this are a drill with a Phillips head bit or a Phillips head screwdriver. Drill makes it much easier, but if you don't have a drill, screwdriver is fine, and a hammer. First step here will be to reassemble the horns and put the screws in. So we'll do that one at a time. The horns will be marked left or right, just so you know where they go, and just match that up. See the screw holes that line up in the skull and also on the horns to line up, and just put the screws in on the front and on the back. You do have the setup with the rope that is inside of the horn rather than on the horn, the end of the rope. Put the knotted side inside of the horn, and then whenever you put the horn back on, we're gonna go ahead and leave that knotted side inside of the horn, and the rope will just keep lining up and feed out of side of that. Now we have one screw in. Once you get one screw in, it's easier to line up the rest. What I recommend to do when putting on the horns is you put one horn in the screw, have the screw stick out of the back side of the horn just a bit so you can line it up with the skull, and then you screw it in and the rest should line up fine. There's 3 screws in the front and 2 screws in the back. Sometimes there will only be 2 screws on the front, such as this one, on horns that are not as girthy as the ones. 1 screw in each horn that should line up the rest of the holes, and we just go ahead and put in the rest of the 4 screws. I should also point out that whenever putting these on, you don't need to put on a lot of pressure. You'll be able to tell whenever they're tight enough to the point where it should hold on just fine. Now that we have all the screws in, 3 on the front and 2 on the back, all we have to do is just get the rope back on there, and the rope will still be attached to the skull whenever you get it, just right there on the back side. And then you just have to kind of go along. There's gonna be nails in the rope, and you just have to go along and just line it up. Just like that with the holes, they should line up. You'll see as you go along. A lot of these you can put in by finger. Sometimes you'll just have to use a little bit of force with a hammer to get them in, but not too much. Don't get too crazy with the hammer. You're putting the rope back on, you'll see that the nails a lot of times are all the way through the nail like that. To make it easier to put it back on, what you do is you can just push the nail to where it's out like that, and then you line it up with the hole so that it doesn't go in at an angle, because sometimes you got to stretch your rope out to fit. And there you have it, all put back together and ready to hang.